we struggled in the second half, man. That defense is still a working process.
Well, you'll figure it out next week.
Oh, yeah, we definitely will. We will play a highly irritated Seahawks team that lost to
and at
K.Carter,
home.
So.
And in Seattle, not at home.
Well, Russell lost one game, yeah. So
he will not be happy.
Well, Peyton is not happy. You know, on the sideline, he was yelling at Demaryius Thomas.
Peyton's never happy.
He's never, but he was definitely in Thomas' face last week. So, let's talk about it. What do you think about that? Early thoughts about the rematch, the Super Bowl?
It's a week 3 football game that everybody's going to overhype for being a week 3 football game. Have fun with it.
Well,
It's a week 3 NFL football game. When this happens in February, then come back and let me know, and then we'll talk about it. When it happens in week 3, I can give an absolute about it. If it happened week 14 and there was playoff spots on the line, then I'd like to talk about it. As far as week 3 goes, I don't care until it gets later on in the season about talking about who's there and who's not.
What was you waiting until the whole season getting into development?
because right now you have the Bills 2-0. We're 2 games into the season. Everybody's freaking out on the Bills being 2-0. Okay, and what usually happens with the Bills? They fall off at the end of the year.
Just like to see.
There you go.
You just like to see the storm weather out, don't you?
I just don't get involved after 2 games.
2 weeks.
It's the same thing in college football. I don't get overly enthused about 2 games. I only care when they start playing big games. But there's a difference in college football than there is pro.
Hey.
You have to win. You need to win all your games in college.
Well,
pro, you don't need to win all your games. There's a big difference.
Like I said, man, it was impressive.
Right now, you're much more invested in college football than you are in the NFL. Or you should be. Because right now is when the meat of the college schedule is starting to pick up. And you need to care about your teams in conference games and everything like this. Right now, this is week 3 of the NFL. You're not going nowhere right now depending on what happens in week 3. Just saying. Unless you're putting in a new quarterback. Unless it's your first home game. Unless you think something's going to happen. Unless you're breaking in other people on doing stuff. You shouldn't care nothing about week 3.
Well, this is a Super Bowl rematch.
Who cares?
They haven't played a Super Bowl rematch in a few years. I can't remember the exact how long it was. Hey,
who cares? New England and Denver play each other almost every year. Or Peyton Manning and Tom Brady play each other every year. And they make a big deal out of it if it's a preseason game.
Which I told you before, I don't like that whole. That's a whole.
But when it's early, I don't give a flying rat's ass about it. When it comes to the playoffs, I care then. When it comes to getting down in the nitty-gritty, I care then. When it comes to your team getting hot going into the playoffs, that's when I care. If they're playing in week 3, I don't give a flying rat's ass. I don't care about a Super Bowl rematch in week 3. I care about a Super Bowl rematch, you know when? The Super Bowl. If there's a rematch in the Super Bowl, that's when I care about it. If you're playing again there, that's when I'll care about it. Right now, I'm not going to care about it. You're going to Seattle, you're playing a game in week 3.
The storylines is that...
The storylines is, last time Broncos played Seattle, they got their ass whooped. Now they're coming back for vengeance.
Well, no.
But now they're playing in Seattle where they're not going to be able to hear anything.
Seattle's defense still looking pretty dominant, even though they lost last week to San Diego. That's fine. The week before, they looked pretty good. Broncos offense still looked in shape. Second half problems is still a problem. So there are so many storylines coming into this here. And I understand you don't care about it.
I'm going to
care about it.
The only reason you would care is because your team is in it. If your team wasn't in it, it wouldn't be as big a deal to you about a Super Bowl rematch.
Hey, it wouldn't be that bad, man. Yeah.
It wouldn't be as big as it would, but if it was not your team, it wouldn't be the biggest deal if it were a rematch. The only way it would be a big deal to you is if it was a rematch and it was in the Super Bowl. That's when it's a big deal to normal folk. To folks who have no rooting interest in either one of these teams, it doesn't matter because it's only week 3. Like I said, you go from week 12 to 16 with all these people that are going to be in the playoff hunts, then it matters. Then I'll start being interested in games.
Man, we have first thoughts and no thoughts from Mr. Carter.
Right now, it's.
All about it.
Will I watch it? Yeah, because this will probably be the only football game on.
15, yes it will.
Nah. That's the only time I watch it.
It should be.
That's the only reason.
There you go.
Isn't it on at 4:15? You would
Yeah.
have thought that game would be on one night because they'll make us such a hoo about it all freaking day long.
Nah, it's on at 4.
Ooh, we got to put the game on national wide TV. I'm amazed it wasn't Thursday night. I'm amazed it wasn't the opening game of the year. That way everybody could have really overanalyzed it.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
No.
But I don't.
No, it wouldn't have. It would have been a week one.
Would have been a week
Whoopity
one.
doo.
Week 1.
Like the Packers losing so big on week 1 and everybody freaking out. Packers will be fine. It was week
Well,
1.
this is the rematch. This is the second time. Well,
Oh my God!
I know. I'm going into it. This is the second time we play them this year. We play them in preseason. I know.
Wow.
Listen.
Yeah, I forgot. You freaked out over a rematch in the preseason.
That's right. Hey, so
Oh, my
we look pretty darn good. So the preseason, okay, Super Bowl preseason to now. I know you slapped yourself on the head, but my team's in it, so of course I'm gonna go ahead and be a little bit interested in. I'm interested. I'm pretty sure the nation is interested more than you are. You just like it's week 3.
It's week 3.
It's week 3.
There
That's all.
Right
you
now,
can say.
there are no playoff implications. None.
The parody of the NFL.
None.
None right now. Huh?
None. Like I said, let me know when it gets week 12.
All right.
Then I'll be really interested. I'm only happy when it's week 1 and it starts, and then when it gets down to the nitty gritty. The all in betweener, I'm like, yeah. Now you got people going to London. Now we know who the shitty teams are. So here we go. You know who you're going to beat the shit out of every week. Blah blah blah. Here we go.
Kevin, you're speaking your mind over there about the earlier discussion in the NFL. So, all right. Well, hey, let's do this, man.
You wanted me to talk about sports.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. We talk sports.
We talk sports.
We talk sports. All right.
You might not agree with everything I say, but guess what? I got the microphone. And you don't. Oh, I'm going to quote the, what is it, Wedding Singer? So you will listen. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Let's take a brief intermission right quick. Let you catch a breather. We'll talk about college football and the USA men's winning goal.
Oh, Lord. Oh, they won goal. Surprise.
So
James Harden still didn't play no defense.
Still surprised. Right?
Surprise.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. This is Ball's Report Podcast. Welcome back to the Balls Not Court podcast. We do talk sports.
Oh my God.
That's right. Our new tagline here, we talk sports. So, welcome back.
It's not a tagline. That's just obvious. It's stating the obvious.
I know. They need to hear the obvious. All right, so
they need to hear the obvious.
Yeah, I'm just messing
It's
with y'all.
obvious we talk sports.
You
He ain't messing with y'all.
Obviously,
He thinks y'all are numb, and y'all don't know that we talk sports.
I would never disrespect y'all like that.
To your face.
Oh, come on. All right, NCAA top 25 discussion. Do you want to talk about the game of the day, Dad, or do you want to go ahead and talk about the top 25? Which one do you want to talk about now?
The top 25.
All right, you want to save that one for last, huh?
I guess. Considering we're both fans.
All right, cool. Let's talk about it. So, all right,
The number one team in the nation, they took their day off.
Yeah, he took the day off. So
They took their day off, but apparently Jameis didn't take his days off for getting in trouble or doing something stupid again. As stated at the beginning of the program.
Yes, by Mr. Carter, who gave you the 4-1 warning on that. So
Flipping moron. Sorry.
It's all good. Well, as we talking about Florida State, they're still ranked number 1. They had off week, as Kevin stated. Oregon's number 2, Alabama's number 3, Oklahoma's number 4, Auburn, Texas A&M, Baylor, LSU, Notre Dame, Ole Miss. I'm just only doing top 10.
He's lazy.
You don't do the rest of Michigan State, UCLA, Georgia, South Carolina, Arizona State, Stanford, USC.
Hold on. South Carolina beats Georgia, correct?
Correct.
How the is South Carolina still ranked under Georgia?
We'll talk about that.
Come on!
Missouri's 18, Wisconsin number 19, Kansas State 20, BYU, Clemson, Ohio State, Nebraska, and Ohio State, who is now moved into number 25. Nice. Let's go ahead and talk and see if you want to.
How's Ohio State still ranked?
So we look here. Yeah, well, let's talk about that upset. The South Carolina.
It wasn't an upset.
It wasn't
I
upset?
said it wouldn't surprise me if they won.
You did say that. Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And I wasn't surprised.
Tell you what, man, South Carolina pretty much, I don't know.
South Carolina got dismantled by a team who was ready to play in the first game, and they wasn't.
Yeah.
Your offense is always behind your defense. South Carolina got exposed that first game. Going into the third game, Georgia was overhyped by everyone during that first game because you take away a 100-yard kickoff return, that changed all the momentum to Georgia's way. Clemson would have still been in that ball game. After that 100-yard kickoff return by Gurley, Clemson was totally taken out of that ball game. Clemson would have still been in that ball game, and it would have went all the way down to the end if that return doesn't happen. They didn't get one of those returns against South Carolina, and South Carolina stayed in the game the whole time.
But then you said that the way they're really exposing to their quarterback made their quarterback beat them.
Right. And he only threw for 191 yards.
And Gurley